book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem and Habashai, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem and Habashai, the Harvard Kakadash, the honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom, to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. They are scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen, beginning with 144,000. Preachers, teachers, prophets, Shalom. New York Post 10 hours ago. Trump warns America could get involved directly in Israel-Iran conflict. No, they are going to get involved. Eventually, they are going to get involved. All right? Let's just go ahead and get it. Jeremiah chapter 2. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. We're going to read both. I love reading both. Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, by Shem Havashai. So this is the plan of Yahweh by Shem Havashai. This is prophecy. All right, that he has taken against Babylon, America, and his purposes that he has proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see? You see that? Surely the least of the flock, Israel, the Israelis, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see? So Yahweh Shema Shai is in control. And Trump really don't want war. But he know he got to defend Israel, man. All right? He got to defend them. All right? And Israel and Iran still going back and forth. All right? So it's not they may get involved. They're already involved. And because they helped stop some of those missile attacks that Iran shot on Israel. And a good amount of those missiles hit in Israel, man. All right? All right? So you see the land of Israel and America are going to be destroyed together. All right? For Israel getting involved, you know, which, hey, that's all a part of prophecy. Now, you get Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, he has taken against Edom. You see? Babylon and Edom. It's the same thing. The Edomites are the so-called white people, man. All right? The ruling class of people that's ruling the earth. America is where is their headquarters, man. All right? It's their capital. All right? And his purposes that he has proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Again, Trump warns America could get involved directly in Israel-Iran conflict. And we just read a prophecy that no, they are going to get involved. All right? And the least of the flock, the insignificant, right? Because I was looking at something the other day, right? I looked how many Jewish or Israelis are in the world, and it's only about 15 million. All right, real quick. Come on, man. Hold on, y'all. It's storming over here, so the Wi-Fi moving slow. Jeremiah, hopefully it'll come up. The least of the flock. Sorry about that. When you type in how many Israelis, how many or population, I guess, of Jewish people in the world. Stick with me on it. It says the estimated world Jewish population is 15.8 million as of the eve of Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year 2024. Approximately 7.2 million of these Jews reside in Israel. You see that? So, hey, that's not the number of the sand of the sea. All right? They're not the Israelites. It says, while 6.3 million live in the United States, the remaining 2.3 are spread across other countries with notable communities in France and Canada. What are that in prophecy, man? Nowhere. Nowhere. But what's in prophecy is that the real Israelites will be numbered as the grain of the sand of the sea. And that's the so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Jamaicans, and Haitians, man. And also we're scattered amongst the other nations and looking like the other nations. You see that? They're not the people, man. So you see, the least of the flock, these Edomites, man. Amalek, the bear is that. All right? So I just wanted to make that point. But check this out right here. So the whole point is America is eventually going to get them. They're already involved. But soon they're going to get so far involved where they're going to really go hands-on. It ain't going to be no they shooting down, helping shoot down missiles. No, they're going to send the military over there and they're going to get active. All right? But, hey, they're forgetting America and Israel. They're forgetting about China and Russia and all the allies that's with Iran. All right, let's just get that real quick. When you get Ezekiel 38, I just want to get the allies. I'll get Ezekiel 38 and 5. It says, I started 4, and I will turn thee back, turn Russia, and put hooks into thy jaws. Hey, just like we read in Proverbs 21 and 1. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah is in control of the kings. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna make Putin get active, man. All right, and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. That's Russia's military. All right? But not just the military, but the missile forces, man. The nuclear missiles. Persia, Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, the African nations, with them, and all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the North Quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Right, Turkey and the Arab brothers, man. The Arab nations. Be thou prepared, that thou will be Russia, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company, that thou assemble unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. You see? So, hey, the only allies Russia has is America. Well, he said they got NATO. No, NATO is going to turn, is already against America and Israel, and they're going to fully turn against America and Israel and shoot nukes on them when you get Revelation 17. So America and Israel are on their own. All right? They're on their own. It says, after many days thou shalt be visited. Right, Russia going to be visited. All right? When you get the next chapter over, the 39th chapter, they're going to get judged. It says, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Right? Eventually, the real Israelites will be in the land. All right? But as of right now, the first part of verse 8 was talking about the Israelis, the Jewish state, man. The state of Israel. All right? They're going to get judged. All right? Let's play this video real quick. Russia, you're going to get judged too when you get the 39th chapter of Ezekiel. But check this out. My fault.
Just look at that water placement. Expertly done. This is the epitome of sport. Israel's Defense Force has announced it is attacking Iranian missile launch sites. That is among a number of reported Israeli strikes in retaliation for a deadly 24 hours of attacks from Iran. Live now to Washington correspondent Lauren Tomazi for the very latest. Lauren, it looks like another tense night ahead. Jane, it is a rapidly spiralling situation in the Middle East, and in just the past little while now, we have the Israeli home front warning people there to stay close to shelter as it heads into the evening, warning that there may be another strike incoming. We have just learnt that the Swiss embassy in Tehran is closing down temporarily. It is the embassy that is responsible for frequently passing messaging between the United States and Iran, so certainly a big development there. And in the last few minutes, we've had Donald Trump here in Washington, D.C., leaving the White House. He was speaking as he's left on his way to the G7, saying, I hope there will be a deal between Iran and Israel, but sometimes you have to fight to the end. That messaging coming from the US president after he has said there is a possibility that the US could become involved in this conflict right now. The US standing back, but certainly the Pentagon is moving to increase the force posture of the United States in the Middle East. There are warships moving into that region right now, and US assets are being amplified over that region. And this was meant to be a day that there was fresh nuclear talks between the US and Iran. Those have been cancelled in the wake of this escalating situation, Jane. Is certainly a tense time in that region, and the US president now on his way to Canada for the G7, where that summit is now overshadowed by this conflict. Okay, Lauren, thank you.
Shalom.